My name is Chris with Headlight Revolution. Behind me, I've got a 2001 Toyota Tacoma in the shop today, and this is actually a plow truck for a local car dealership, and they approached us saying, hey man, we drive this thing in reverse more than we drive it forward. How can we get the rear of this truck brighter? So they needed some of our best reverse lights, and it did so well in this particular reverse light housing, I have to show it to you. So I'm going to show you how to install it and what it looks like compared to stock. Let's get started. The first step in getting these taillights apart, there's 4 Phillips screws here into recessed little holes in the lens of the taillight. Using a Phillips screwdriver or a Phillips drill, just pull those out. The longer ones go to the outside of the taillight, and the 2 shorter ones go to the inside. Go ahead and take the lens off. We're going to set that off to the side. And on the top here, we've got our turn signal. Twist that counterclockwise and remove it. Now, I talked a lot about the reverse lights in the intro, but just as important as reverse lights is your indicator lights, your left turn, your right turn, and your brake lights. Especially in this case, like I said earlier, it is a plow truck. This guy needs people to see him. They need people to know where he's going, and that needs to be clear as day. So, thankfully, with the GTR Lighting Carbide Series bulbs, that will never be a problem. No one will ever not know where this truck is going. Big difference versus stock, massive light increase. It's an all-around better bulb. And they look cool. So try to keep this gasket decent. Like, try to keep it where it belongs. It's gonna flop around on you a little bit. Insert the bulb, turn clockwise. We actually struggled to find a bulb that would even fit this socket. Off camera, I ran back and forth from our bulb area like 20 times trying to find something that would actually fit in there. It's kind of recessed, so carbide's the way to go. Now, we got a reverse light. This one, you actually twist the socket counterclockwise from the back and pull it out toward you and remove the bulb. This one's my favorite. If you're not gonna do anything else to the back of this truck, you have to do these. These are mandatory. These are the GTR Lighting 1000 lumen reverse lights. They are just about as bright as headlights, but they're rear facing. They're unbelievable. This was the reason this truck was brought to us, was for something like this, and when you see it against the wall, you'll understand why we're doing these. Now these bulbs just pressure fit into the back. Pop it in place. I usually give it a little twist just to make sure it's seated, and then just plug the little socket in where the original bulb went. The final bulb is the brake and parking light. Twist it clockwise just like we did for the turn signal, set it off to the side, and once again we're doing a really nice Carbide Series bulb from GTR Lighting. There we go. These should anchor in place really well. Give them a little wiggle, make sure that they're in there where they belong. But this is what you should be left with. Now, we're almost done. There's one thing we have to do left. The resistor. Without this, your truck is going to think that it has a bulb burned out and it's going to blink really rapidly. It's called hyperflash. It's not what you want. It's really annoying, and you're always going to think, man, do I got a bulb burned out somewhere? So by adding this little guy in there, that goes away. On these trucks, the turn signal just has 2 wires going to it. It's right on top here. We got white with black and a green with yellow wire. These resistors have 2 wires coming out of them. It's pretty self-explanatory what's going on here. Take the resistor, you take 1 wire, connect it to, in this case we're going to do the green and yellow, take the other wire and connect it to the white and black. And you can either solder it or you can T-tap it, it's absolutely up to you. The only thing you need to do is mount this thing to metal. We got plenty of that back here. I usually like to take the supplied self-drilling screw and anchor the resistor first. Okay. So with the resistor mounted, I have this automatic wire stripper I got at a local hardware store. It is slick for doing these things, man. You can grab right into the middle of a wire, bear it back like that. Do the same for this one. Makes life easy. Makes this process take no time at all. Take one resistor wire and connect it to one of the turn signal wires. In this case, we're going to white with black. Take the other resistor wire. Looks like we've got some kind of tow package back here, so if you see some wires that aren't quite on your model, don't worry about it. Just do exactly what I'm showing you here. And this other resistor wire is going to the green with the yellow stripe. Now you could have either T-tapped these, or you can solder them. I'm going to solder them. We prefer to solder them. Gets you a better connection, holds up better over time. All that's left to do now is tape it up, put everything back together. You know, before you get much further, it wouldn't be a bad idea to test these lights, make sure everything powers up like it should, make sure your blinkers work, make sure your brake light works. More importantly, make sure the big guy here works, the reverse light. So you can see everything worked fine on the first try. If for some reason yours don't, you can always try popping them out, flipping them 180 degrees and popping them back in. Sometimes they're polarity specific, and that'll fix that problem. At this point, we can go ahead and reassemble this tail light, move on to the next side. It's the exact same process. Let's see what this thing looks like against the wall, especially the reverse light. Now, as you can see, this is a very typical reverse light backing up to a perfectly white wall. It's very dainty yellow. It's not very desirable. It's not going to light much up for you if you're backing up in a trail. In this case, it's a plow truck. This isn't helping them at all. Let's see if we can help them out. Now we're talking. We've got something that we can actually write home about. We've got tremendous light output left to right. We've got very bright hot spots in the center. This will reach down and do a great job as a reverse light. Now, if you need anything else for these trucks, we've got upgrades just like this one at our website, www.headlightrevolution.com. Thank you for watching.